Hello, everybody. If applicable, happy Mother's Day. And if it's applicable and it's not happy and you're like, I wish I didn't have those pesky kids, well, happy day to you too. We have a big day today. Very big day. A couple of things. Killer video not been released just yet. Cops get shut down immediately. And it's important to know who they get shut down by. So let's bring our friend up here, and then we're going to jump right in the video because you guys got stuff to do. It's Mother's Day. So let me bring up our friend, Leroy Truth.
Hello there, everybody. Hello, Mr. Josh Washington. What is that you're playing? Catchy.
Have a heart attack. All right. There you
beautiful.
go.
That's the official Leroy Truth Chat GPT AI song, apparently. A subscriber had created for me. So that's pretty cool.
So let's get right into this thing. Leroy Truth, you're where when you come across these tyrant cops and this drunken hysterical lady?
I was driving through a particular area in Connecticut, and I came through Wilton, Connecticut, little tiny town, and I was actually on the phone with a friend of mine, and that I saw all these police officers going from one part of a supermarket parking lot to the other, and then one cop after the other, their lights going, flashing out, their sirens blaring. And so, of course, as I always say on my channel, Leroy Truth Investigations, always record the police. And maybe nothing's going on. Maybe they're all on the up and up, but you don't know. And we don't get their body cams. No, and usually they're not. And we don't get their body cams. They will say to you and I, Josh, and we've heard this when we go out, you don't need to record us. We have our body cams running. Yes. Yeah, good luck trying to get that footage, and good luck trying to get that footage unredacted, unedited within 1 or 2 or 5 years. If ever.
Just hit the delete button. Shout out to T69 Bones, also a member for 14 months. As if your business says AFA is working hard, traveling all over the country lately. Support his work. We do. As well as Leroy and I hit a bunch of states. I've just went cross country. A lot of videos coming to you guys soon. If you want, you can support. The link is pinned at the top of the chat if you want to help. Without further ado, let's jump into this video because this one here is a banger. So let's take a peek.
Why don't we give you a test to see if
I don't know.
Yeah, don't consent to any tests.
What's that?
No, I was talking to her. Said don't consent to any tests.
Hey, listen. So if you want to sit there and record, you're free to record.
Absolutely, I am.
But if you want to step in and interfere in our investigation, then it's going to become an issue.
Interference
so
is a physical act. Interference.
No, it's not. It can be verbal.
No, it is. Wow. All right, my man. I got to run here. There's cops that are surrounding this woman, and I'm recording them. You're gonna see what's going on. 3 cops surrounding them. A woman with white hair in a shopping cart.
Oh no, homeless woman.
I don't know. They're suspicious of me. I keep driving around. One cop kept looking at me here. Let me see what's going on. Did she steal something, or there's 3 cops following her? Right. I gotta run. I'll talk to you later.
All right, peace.
Okay.
Where's your ID?
Good for you, Amanda. Excellent.
So get the address and get, you guys live here? No. Okay. Oh, that's your car, you rent that? Okay. That's for K7, 2729 Alaska.
And I'm parking my car, getting into position here so I can see them clearly. My camera's on my mount in my car. About to take it out. And someone called saying that she may be drunk when she was in the Carluzzi's shopping center. They called 911, called the police. I'll be getting out here in a minute. Seeing what they were doing at first. going to come around the other side. I couldn't really hear them too well here. An abstract echo, you're right about always record them. Always have your camera rolling. I got to come around the other side of the police car. Town of Wilton, Connecticut. I don't know. I'm just making sure you're all honest and not harassing her or assaulting her. Johnny Bravo, right on. Always stand your ground. Camera or no camera.
Do you know where it was? And you don't.
They're willing to give a written
So you'll
statement.
be able to get all of this information. But what I'm telling you is that if you drive away from here, we're gonna have to.
I'll be in jail.
Well, I don't know that. I don't know.
And quick, brief interruption. This woman is going into her car, and someone calls and says, "Oh, this woman we think she might be drunk." 3 cops surround her, and now she needs to give up all of her information, all of her shit. Like, I literally walk down the street on purpose before going like this. You can walk whatever way you want to walk. There is literally no law against walking or acting funny, and she's not even in the car. These cops were already going towards DUI. And real quick, guys, a good friend, not just of mine, but of the activism community, has been getting messed with lately. Now, we have the ability on this channel to take down bad police departments. We bring them from a 5-point Google star rating all the way down to a 0. Now, this gentleman here, he's the owner and operator of New Jersey Best Lawn Sprinklers and Fencing, a wonderful guy, supporter of myself, a supporter of many of the activists, has a 3.0 Google rating. It's went up the past couple days because we've helped him. Some folks that have found out about his activism, how dare he support activism and be involved in the community and also try and run a business, because we're surrounded by a world of bootlickers. And because of this, people have purposely gone on his site and they have purposely given him negative reviews just to sink his business, because how dare he try and hold police accountable or support those that do. If we have a second, I want to do the opposite. Instead of bringing a high Google rating all the way down to 1, I want to bring a low Google rating that's been trolled by bootlickers right back up to a 5. If you guys can see, me and a couple of my friends have gone in there and left some positive reviews for New Jersey Best Lawn Sprinklers and Fencing. I've given a positive review there. A gentleman named Vinny's up in there. James Richards, Joshua Pursley, Blackluster, DMAFA. That's me. And then you got the folks in there that are trying to take down a business because how dare he support activism. So if you guys have it in your time to head over there, again, to New Jersey Best Lawns, Sprinklers, and Fencing, if some of the folks in the chat, moderators, could please post the link, that'd be awesome. I mean, there are people out there that are literally just trying to live their life and support activism, and they have to deal with nasty bootlickers trying to take down their business because how dare they support a fight against tyranny. I'm actually going to put the link myself in there real quick. Let me put it in there real quick. Here we go. Share, copy. I'm going to drop it in because this thing pissed me off. I was talking to him the other day. He's like, yeah, I'm getting destroyed. I said, why? And he said, because the bootlickers, man, like, how dare I support activism? They're going after my business. So if we could bring it up, we're going to go back and check and see how the reviews go up. We're going to get right back to the video. I just wanted to take a moment to see if you guys could help me with that, because that would be wonderful. And Auditing 2 says, let's get the super chat party started. Yeah, feel free, guys. Let's jump right back into this video and see if we can dissuade some of these nasty bootlickers. How dare you support America? Then they'll just go after your business. That's the Blue Line Gang. Let's not let them affect this poor guy.
Absolutely.
Drunk, but why don't we give you a test to see if
I don't know.
Yeah, don't consent to any tests.
What's that?
No, I was talking to her. Said don't consent to any tests.
Hey,
She doesn't.
listen.
She doesn't
So
have to
if you
consent.
want to sit there and record, you're free to record.
Absolutely, I
But
am.
if you want to step in and interfere in our investigation, then it's going to become an issue.
Interference
So if
is
you want to
interference is a
videotape her, you
physical
may.
act.
Because
Interference.
No, it's not.
is
It can be verbal.
No, it is
False.
not. Absolutely,
You're
you are
incorrect.
You are
So be
absolutely wrong.
careful.
Interference
Be
is a
careful.
physical act. You First Amendment right. I could talk. So they tried to violate our rights right there. Hey, let's have you take a test.
I did. I did. So does everybody else down at that bar. You
Right.
want
But
to
the
go
thing
take
is,
them
we
out?
got complaints on you.
But you're still
Who would
on.
give a complaint about that?
Ma'am, I don't
I'm a
know what
normal
happened.
person.
No one said you're not normal. But at this point, what we don't want to happen is for you to get arrested for DUI. So we're literally trying to help you not get arrested.
I was.
Okay, well, how about this? Can I ask you this? You're welcome to sleep in the car, but if you put the key in the ignition and turn it on, that's operation, right? Which is DUI, right? As First Amendment auditor, you probably know that, right? You're giving her advice, so maybe you can advise.
I'm just
her
here to
on-
make sure you're not harassing her or
We don't know.
hurting her rights.
I don't know who that person is, but he's trying to make sure you're safe, as are we,
Ma'am, listen.
right?
Can I say something? Let me say something.
I do think that.
Now you see that nasty cop? That nasty cop. Let me say something. Because the other cop is giving her good, oh, you know, we're just filming. He's an auditor. He's de-escalating. That's not good enough. Just like our friend over at New Jersey Best Lawn Sprinklers and Fencing, this woman might question the police. This cop needs her door open. He needs her to answer questions, and he will not have another officer de-escalating anything because his favorite mode of transportation is a fucking escalator. I mean, like this is what we're doing in America. They're willing to arrest her if she put the keys in the ignition for DUI. Let's look at the statute. To literally be arrested for DUI, the cop has to have reasonable articulable suspicion that she's operating under the influence, which means he has to observe her, you know, with unmarked lane changes, not using proper directionals, swerving into oncoming traffic, creating a hazard on the road to herself and to the greater public, none of which can happen because she hasn't even left. They're coming because someone said, I think she's drunk. And this guy's willing to go hands-on and tell Leroy that he's going to jail. Thank God Leroy has more balls in his sack than this cop, and he told him to beat feet and get moving.
So
Ma'am,
why
let's
don't
do
we
this.
give you a
You're
ride
close
home?
by. We'll give you a private chauffeur home. That way we're not.
Yeah, why don't we give you a ride home? And when you're absolutely positive that you're sober enough to come into your car, you do that. Doesn't that sound better than us going through the whole? All right, thank you. I'll accept the
I can assist for the ride.
We appreciate that, sir, but we're gonna give her a ride home. We're gonna get her a ride
To
home.
let you know, I've watched this whole thing. So if you get in a
Thanks.
crap for this guy,
We're not worried about it.
We appreciate it.
Now come the swarm of the bootlickers. Now, things are very different because Leroy's there. They have 3 cops literally waiting to arrest this woman. They want her to take a breathalyzer test for driving while intoxicated. She hasn't even entered her vehicle. The moment Leroy shows up and shuts them down, they want to give hugs and they're going to give her a ride home, which is great. This is called community policing. That's how things used to be when Leroy and myself were growing up, or when Leroy was growing up 39 and a half years ago. But that's how things should be. But they shouldn't be like that because an auditor shows up with a camera. They should be like that because that's how cops act. That's what cops do. And here comes this, like the guy, and by the way, go leave a review for New Jersey Best Lawn Sprinklers and Fencing, our friend who's suffering the attack of the bootlickers. How dare he own a business and try and support a righteous cause when bootlickers might try and tank his Google reviews. Here comes Attack of the Bootlicker, where this guy just can't keep his stupid mouth closed.
Appreciate it, but there's no need.
let you know, I've watched this whole thing. So if you get in a
Thanks.
crap for this guy,
We're not worried about it.
We appreciate it, but there's no need. He's doing everything
We're
legally.
just
So
gonna get you a ride.
Yeah, get the hell out of here.
No, they've been very reasonable. Why you get that fucking camera out of my face?
You got in my face.
No, get
You,
out of my face.
you are all being very reasonable. I gotta say, what you gentlemen are doing, I think you're yeah.
Hey, stranger, out of towner.
I think what you guys are doing are over and above. And really good.
Don't put your keys in the ignition. Okay. All right, cool. That's fine. We'll take that too. And just make sure you lock your vehicle. Secure it. What's your vault? Don't say your address out loud. Officer Hayes.
No. For what?
Both of you. Lock it for us.
You know, I see a lot of bad officers, and you gentlemen are the opposite of that.
You can't open it until you go.
Now, I don't know that she actually got home safely, for a fact.
You know, I want to point something out. This is how important activism is. Okay. Like, you know, angry vets in the chat, you know, like other activists out there. This is called making a change for the good in your community. Because had not the angry vet strolled up and pulled out his camera, had not Leroy Truth strolled up and pulled out his camera, this woman would be taking the same ride. She'd be getting in the back of a police car and taking a ride. But she wouldn't be going home. She'd going to the police department, and she'd be wearing a pair of silver bracelets that she didn't have before, because these cops just wanted to surround, harass, and they wanted to arrest her for DUI. She wasn't even in her car. Like, this is the problem that we're facing here. And you know, it's because, and I see it all the time, I believe 100%, without a shadow of a doubt, that if Leroy had not been there, that woman would be going to jail. And he gave solid advice. There's some states like Indiana where if you refuse a field sobriety test or a breathalyzer, they can get a judge right on demand, right then and there, to order a blood draw. You're going to the hospital in cuffs, they're drawing your blood. However, in most cases where that does not exist, don't take the breathalyzer test. You got a bad ankle. You can't stand on one leg. You took medications. Whatever the case, if you don't help the opposing team. You never see a quarterback in the NFL shouting the play to the middle linebacker on the other side, because who wants to get sacked? Don't help out the prosecution. Seriously, folks, take this into consideration. If you take the field sobriety test or the breathalyzer and you fail it, you're giving them one extra thing to use against you in court. If you decline to take it, you are losing your license provisionally for 60 days, and you are going to jail right then, but there's nothing they have at court to use against you. And this is sound advice. And that's why it pissed the cop off. Obstruction is a physical act. This cop got mad because Leroy went and let the air out of his whoopee cushion. He was hoping I found some little old lady that I can bag tag and take to jail today. And this guy is coming and he's stealing all of our fun. And we need people like Leroy in the community. We need people like New Jersey best lawn sprinklers and fencing. You know, that support this community. And again, if you haven't given a review yet, you guys need to get over there. He went from 3 to a 3.3, and I need to see some more because of his fight for our community. People are trying to tank his business, and he's got a lot of new stuff. Word of mouth, this place is A-OK. 5-star review, professionalism, punctuality, quality, responsiveness, value, abstract echo. It's a shame that people have to resort to attacking this gentleman's business because he's a law-abiding citizen that exercises his constitutional rights. Danny Pearsall, I have heard that your company is one I would enjoy working with. Johnny Bravo, great folks in service. We have reviews flying in. I think about 25 in the past just couple minutes. Let's keep doing that for New Jersey best lawn sprinklers and fencing. And also, because we're here, subscribe to this guy. Leroy Truth Investigations is not just a great activist, a great auditor, a phenomenal journalist. He's a wonderful friend. Now, there's more to this video, another 5 minutes that you don't want to miss. You are going to miss it here. I'm not going to play the rest for you because I want you to go see it on his channel. I'm literally doing this because I want to get him as many subscribers as humanly possible. And if you haven't, and that video is unlisted right now, so you can't see it. However, if you don't know what his channel looks like, take a look at your screen right now. Actually, that's the wrong one. That's the other one. Hold on, let me put this up here. Here we go. You can look at your screen right now. I'm bringing it up because I have the fastest click fingers in the West. That's Leroy Truth Investigations right there. 17.3 thousand subscribers with only 69 videos, a lot of them with me. And I met this gentleman when he took my back and he hadn't even met me before, doing some big work in the community. And I suggest you guys all go check him out. Make sure you hit the subscribe button while you're having a great Mother's Day. But three things for certain that we can take away from this video. Number one, that lady would have taken a ride to jail and should be celebrating her Mother's Day at her arraignment. Number two, you need to subscribe to Leroy Truth Investigations. Frickin' Media, what's up, brother? Number three, you need to head on over to New Jersey Best Lawns Sprinkling and Fencing and help this guy out. Because when we have members of this community, not an auditor gets arrested, we all are activists, we all come to their aid. When the people that are supporting us behind the scenes are getting attacked because of their fervor for freedom. I mean, imagine that. Imagine you walk out the front door. You're a mom and pop's organization. You're not that big. I have an American flag flying in the front of my new house. And when I walk outside, I see that flag and I take pride in it. I take pride in our American way of life. And I have a strong belief system that we don't have to suffer tyranny. And better men and women than I have died paying the price so we can continue to not live in tyranny. And just because I have a small business and I think that cops should be held accountable, people find out about that and they go and try and destroy my business and leave negative reviews, or you're just a nasty customer. You know, we love America because it is America. We love your country because you believe in the same stuff that us Americans do. Let's stick together and let's help the people that need to be helped.
And the thing is, you know, as it's been said so many times, evil propagates. Freedoms go away when good people do nothing and assume someone else is the activist. Someone else. There's those type of people that do that. But here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, it took me 15 minutes to do this, to hold my camera up, and I didn't know what was going on, but I wanted to make sure that woman was safe. And it most likely changed, as Josh was saying, the trajectory of her life, because I got out of the car, took 15 minutes to film. And so how do you become an activist? Who's an activist? Every person who cares about freedoms. And it's all about accountability, like Josh's channel, accountability for all of us, for me, for him, for our community, for police, for all of our government officials, that we're doing the right thing and helping our fellow men and fellow women. So if you see police pull out the camera, oh, but nothing's going on, it seems pretty innocuous. That's how 99% of viral videos that have held police profoundly accountable started out, looking profoundly innocuous. And, you know, do it.
Same with me. And there's recourse to this, folks. And I haven't released it yet, but I want to give you an idea of what the recourse is. Because, you know, for example, you guys saw the video on my channel the other day where I'm just sitting outside, minding my business. A cop comes, knocks on the window, and he makes an ass of himself. He starts referring to male anatomy in front of a small child. You know, he starts demanding to know why I have service dogs and what use they provide. And the guy made himself look stupid. So I said, you know what? I can travel the fucking country and do what I do. Or I can focus on this tiny small town that I now live, and I can do that. Now this cop apologized, so he knocked on my window. I knocked on every other cop's video, and one of the cops had a little insignia. He had one of those patches on his bulletproof vest, and it said "goon shit." And I said, I'm sensing a pattern. You have one cop referring to female anatomy. This new cop's a field training officer, and he's walking around with shit plastered on his vest. And I looked up the definition for him, And I said a goon is someone that is hired to intimidate or harm people. So not only great self-awareness for this cop that he knows that's what his job is, but he's proud of it. He's literally walking around with it. Andre Cordell, great to see you. He's literally walking around plastered on his shirt. I mean, and they're proud of this stuff. We need to take out our cameras like Leroy didn't film. And you know what? You film a cop, you make someone's day better. That woman, without Leroy's help and without them knowing that they were on camera, made a difference. And it used to be the cops would only react professionally if they knew they should fear your camera, meaning specifically that, oh, this guy might have 100,000 subscribers. I know who this guy is. And now they know that because of platforms like mine and Lackluster and James Freeman and all these other folks that share these types of videos, they know that even when they think is a Joe Schmo, that could turn out the wrong way for them. That could wind up being nightly news because you guys know AFA several times news. So subscribe to Leroy real quick. I want to show you. So one cop tried to flex his nuts just a little too much for my liking. This video hasn't dropped yet. It's called Inappropriate Cops Get Taught a Lesson, Boss Status. Let this roll for a second while you guys get to your Mother's Day destination.
Hello, sir.
How's it going, man? Not too bad. I was just driving by and I did see a suspicious vehicle parked on private property.
Yep.
So I just wanted to come check and make sure everything's okay. Legal, good standing.
Yes, sir.
All right, perfect. Is there anything?
I recognize your AFA.
Yeah, that's me.
Okay.
How are you?
Good.
Anything in the car I should know about?
Not in this car, sir.
Okay. All right. Any drugs, anything like that? Nothing?
Tonight.
Would you consent just for my safety if I conducted a quick pat down?
I don't think.
Officer Eldridge.
Oh, yeah.
I saw a suspicious vehicle parked in a private business, so I just came to investigate.
Oh no, I was just doing a building check. I was about to.
Were you weren't doing road piracy, were you?
No, sir. I was not.
Okay. Do you know what that is?
Not entirely.
It's giving hardworking people tickets for not committing crimes.
No, sir. None of that.
All right. Making sure there was nothing illegal in his car that I should know about. It wasn't. I'm sure there's nothing illegal in yours, right?
No, sir.
Okay. Well, I sit here in small town America at my house with a nice American flag and a big creek behind me. I wonder to myself, yes, I'm detained. Good to have answers to his questions.
Cooler.
I don't answer questions, man. Yes, I'm detained, brother. Appreciate it, though. I'm going to get back to them because I don't want them to keep
I'm not trying to bust your balls or anything. I was wondering what's going on.
Well, I'd rather not talk about balls if I have a 9-year-old in the back seat. That seems highly inappropriate.
I actually didn't even see him.
Yeah. It's
Hell of a detective. He's a police officer talking about his balls and busting them and all sorts of fun. And you say, well, I don't appreciate you talking about that with a 9-year-old in the back seat. And he says, I didn't even realize he had a child back there. You're standing next to the fucking window. How do you solve crimes if you can't fucking look to the left?
Yeah, Josh, so many people assume police solve all crimes. And has anyone ever looked up the percentage of crimes that police actually solve? Because number one, we know they almost never prevent crimes. Oh, but they keep us safe. No, they don't. They harass and collect, and they come in after the fact. And there's a huge percentage of crimes they don't solve. And this cop's spatial awareness around you, Josh, was mind-blowingly ridiculous. They're supposed to be hyper aware of everything for every threat and so forth. They didn't even notice who and what was in your car. So
The funniest part was of that video specifically, is when I told him, he did not leave until I told him, what do you think the chances are? I have 120,000 followers on YouTube and I film idiot cops for a living. And then that's when he was like, and then he took a walk. Now he was made to apologize. He was reprimanded. He apologized. And now this new cop that has goon shit with, by the way, guys, if you think that's inappropriate, this is the Townsend Police Department in Townsend, Massachusetts. This is officer. I do want to show you this real quick because we should be holding these guys to a different standard because they hold themselves to a different standard because they'll arrest us in in a second. So I want you to see this part for a second here. And this is a Townsend Police Department, Massachusetts. I'm starting a petition that he should get that stupid thing off of his vest. I love cursing. Cursing is free speech. Not when you're a field training officer, you're getting paid an exorbitant amount of money to solve no crimes, and you're walking around with cuss words in front of small children. I think that's ridiculous. So here's another part of this. Watch real quick.
Sure he was okay and he wasn't in distress. I was making sure there was nothing illegal in his car that I should know about. There was goon shit. Oh, what does that mean?
Just a patch.
Like a patch. Well, Officer Tucker, it's not just a patch, is it? This comp is so proud to have a patch on his vest that says goon shit. Well, let's look at the definition of what a goon is. Definition 1, a stupid, foolish, or eccentric person. Check. Or a violent, aggressive person who is hired to intimidate or harm people. It's great to see that Officer Tucker has such great self-awareness. What's not so great is that Officer Tucker is a field training officer. He's in charge of training other officers.
That video will be dropping tomorrow. You guys are definitely going to want to see that one. And if you think that he should remove that stupid vest, and his, like when you say goon shit, like you're like, oh, I'm about that goon life, about that goon shit. That means like I'm about intimidating and harming people. And there's no way he can get out of it and say, well, that's not what I meant. That is what you meant. He literally said, and you didn't see this. He says, well, it's just a patch. Kind of like, your tattoos, really like your tattoos. My tattoos are we the people. My tattoos are about freedom and the American free way of life, not about suppressing people's rights and getting paid to intimidate or harm them.
Yep. And one of the things, ladies and gentlemen, we've been programmed about this since we were kids, that police are there to protect and serve. And nothing can be further from the truth, of course. And I just literally recorded a video. I was just telling Josh about it. Tempted to upload it, but it was just demonetized. And so I just took it down and going to re-upload it. Because demonetization is not about the money. It's about the reach. They demonetize it. They limit my reach. But it's about that the Federal Court of Appeals has said that police can legally shoot hostages if they fear for their life. They're not there to protect and serve us. They're there to protect themselves. So stay tuned for that video. I'll be dropping it in the next day or two once I get it cleared through YouTube.
Guys, make sure you share, like, subscribe to Leroy Truth Investigations. And on your way out, if you could please go over to, we already got him up to a 3.4 on my live count here. Let me refresh this here. 3.4. Let's get them up to a 5 if we can, or as close to it as possible. A lot of great Americans, appreciating not just his business, because you can literally click on his website there and see his website and take a look at all the great stuff that he does. But this guy is just a great guy supporting this community, and just like Leroy Truth, and the fact that he's going through what he's going through just for wanting to run a business and be a good American, that sucks out loud. So guys, again, head on over to New Jersey, Best Lawn Sprinklers and Fencing. It's a landscaper in Lakewood, New Jersey, great friend of us and to this activism community. Make sure you also subscribe to Leroy Truth Investigations. And lastly, make sure you have an excellent Mother's Day. We did have 2 super stickers, Claudette Hill and a super chat from Auditing 2. We appreciate you guys so much. Enjoy your day. We'll catch you on the next one. And Leroy, I gotta be honest with you. You've been a great friend for a long time, and I did want to tell you something important to me. Okay, now take this for what it's worth. But
Leroy Truth Investigations, Leroy Truth. He's the man. He shines the light of truth. We are no one else from the policeman.
catch you on the next one. That's the reason we stopped you today.
Hey, everybody. Great to see you. Heather, yes, that's true.